When people think of money in Ohio, if they think of it at all, they think of Columbus. Fastest growing city in the Midwest, tech companies moving in, new construction everywhere. And Columbus has done well. But the truly wealthy people in Ohio don't live in Columbus proper. The richest community in the state is 14 miles outside Cincinnati, in a village that was originally purchased from the U.S. government for 66 cents an acre. And some of the most concentrated old money in America isn't in New York or Connecticut. It's in a string of tiny villages east of Cleveland that most Americans have never heard of, where the homes are hidden behind so many trees that you could drive through and never realize you're surrounded by multi-million-dollar estates. Ohio isn't a state most people associate with extreme wealth, but it has at least 10 billionaires. The richest is Les Wexner, the founder of L Brands, the retail empire that once owned Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works. He's worth roughly $9 billion and lives in New Albany, a suburb east of Columbus that he essentially built from the ground up. Behind him is the York family of Youngstown, who own over 90% of the San Francisco 49ers and are worth about $8.4 billion. Then there's Mike Brown and his family, who own the Cincinnati Bengals, worth around $5 billion. August Trendle, a pharmaceutical services executive, is worth $4.4 billion and lives in Cincinnati. The Lerner family in Cleveland, who made their fortune in banking and credit cards, have multiple billionaires in the household. Ohio's wealth story is different from what you find on the coasts. This isn't tech money or hedge fund money. This is manufacturing money, retail money, banking money, and sports franchise money. Fortunes built across generations, not in a single IPO. And the places where these families choose to live reflect that. These aren't flashy, they're deliberate. Let's start with the community that has been ranked the wealthiest in Ohio for as long as anyone's been keeping track, the village of Indian Hill. Indian Hill sits about 14 miles northeast of downtown Cincinnati. The population is roughly 6,000. The average household income is over $434,000. The median home value exceeds $1.6 million, with some estates pushing well past $6 million. Bloomberg ranked Indian Hill the 11th wealthiest community in the entire United States. It was the only greater Cincinnati community to make the top 100 and one of only 3 in all of Ohio. But what makes Indian Hill genuinely unique isn't the income data. It's the story of how it was built and the rules it created to stay the way it is. The land that is now Indian Hill was originally home to the Shawnee, Miami, and Delaware tribes, who used the area for hunting and fishing along the many streams that still run through the village today. After the Revolutionary War, a surveyor named Major Benjamin Stites visited the area and was so taken with it that he convinced Judge John Sims to purchase the land from the federal government. The price was 66 cents per acre. For more than a century after that, Indian Hill was farmland. Then, in the early 1920s, 4 Cincinnati businessmen formed the Camargo Realty Company and assembled 12,000 acres of rolling countryside. They divided it into 25-acre plots and sold them for $75 to $150 an acre, attracting wealthy Cincinnati families who wanted country estates with stables and kennels. Grand mansions went up. The most famous was Peterloon, the 1,200-acre estate of John J. Emery, a Cincinnati developer whose family had deep ties to the city's art and business worlds. Peterloon has since been subdivided, but the estate grounds are still used for private events. In 1941, the residents incorporated Indian Hill as a village and adopted a charter that locked in its residential character permanently. To this day, 100% of Indian Hill is zoned as single-family residential or agricultural. There is no commercial property, no billboards, limited traffic lights. The village maintains 75 miles of bridle trails, making it a genuine equestrian community, where riding horses along wooded paths is part of daily life. Nearly a quarter of the community's land is preserved as conservation areas. The residents have included astronaut Neil Armstrong, who chose Indian Hill for its peace and quiet after becoming the most famous person on the planet. Rock musician Peter Frampton lived there for the same reason. William DeWitt Jr., the managing partner and chairman of the St. Louis Cardinals, calls Indian Hill home. One real estate agent summarized it perfectly. One of the reasons for going there is to be invisible and anonymous. Indian Hill High School is ranked the best public high school in the state of Ohio. The Cincinnati Country Day School, a private institution on Given Road, has a 100% rate of graduates attending 4-year colleges. The combination of elite education, conservation land, equestrian infrastructure, and absolute residential exclusivity makes Indian Hill unlike almost any other community in the Midwest. Now let's head north to Cleveland, because the east side of the Cleveland metro contains a corridor of wealth that rivals anything south of the city. Hunting Valley, population, roughly 700. Mean household income, over $355,000. Median home price, about $1.57 million. Hunting Valley has been ranked as one of the wealthiest suburbs in America, period. Not just Ohio. It sits about 17 miles east of downtown Cleveland in the Chagrin River Valley, and the properties here are estate scale. Multi-acre lots, mature hardwood forests, stone walls, and long driveways that disappear into the trees. The community has a distinctly rural character, despite being less than 40 minutes from the city center. Horse farms, conservation easements, and properties with frontage along the Chagrin River are common. This is where Cleveland's corporate executives, old banking families, and inherited wealth have lived for generations. Directly adjacent to Hunting Valley is Pepper Pike, population about 6,800. Mean income, roughly $240,000. Median home price, around $700,000, though the top end goes well above $2 million. Bloomberg ranked Pepper Pike the 43rd richest town in the country. The community is quieter and more residential than the inner-ring Cleveland suburbs, with beautifully maintained homes on generous lots and extremely low poverty rates. Pepper Pike is where the upper tier of Cleveland's professional class lives. Doctors, attorneys, senior executives at companies headquartered in the metro area. Almost 98% of homes are owner-occupied. Then there's Gates Mills, a small village just north of Hunting Valley. Gates Mills has a pastoral, almost English countryside feel, with winding roads, equestrian properties, and a strong artistic community. Kirtland Hills, nearby, has a population of under 700 and a mean income over $222,000. Moreland Hills, Bentleyville, and Chagrin Falls round out this cluster of wealthy eastern suburbs that together form what locals call the Chagrin Valley. Chagrin Falls itself has a charming downtown built around a waterfall, upscale shops, a vibrant art scene, and homes priced between $1 million and $3 million. The pattern on Cleveland's east side is unmistakable. The wealth runs along the Chagrin River and its tributaries, through forested valleys and rolling hills, in communities that have preserved their rural character for over a century. These aren't gated communities. They're open villages with no commercial districts, no through traffic, and no reason for anyone who doesn't live there to ever drive through. The invisibility is built into the geography. If you're finding this series interesting, subscribe. We cover the wealthiest hidden communities in every state. Now let's go back to the Columbus area for the most unusual wealth story in Ohio. New Albany is a planned community about 15 miles northeast of downtown Columbus. It has roughly 12,000 residents and a median household income of around $196,000. It was ranked among the richest places in the state by multiple sources. But the thing that sets New Albany apart from every other community on this list is that one man is largely responsible for building it. Les Wexner, the founder of L Brands, is worth approximately $9 billion. He purchased Victoria's Secret in 1982 for $1 million. He built it into one of the most recognized brands in the world and eventually created a retail empire that also included Bath & Body Works. After making his fortune, Wexner didn't move to Palm Beach or Manhattan. He stayed in Ohio. And he didn't just pick a suburb to live in, he essentially designed one. Wexner and his wife Abigail became the driving force behind New Albany's transformation from a small rural crossroads into one of the most meticulously planned communities in the Midwest. The Wexners helped fund public buildings, shaped the town's architectural standards, and attracted major corporate tenants to the area. The community has a unified Georgian colonial aesthetic, walkable streets, extensive green space, and a school system that consistently ranks among the best in Ohio. The Jack Nicklaus-designed New Albany Country Club anchors the social scene. New Albany is what happens when a billionaire decides that instead of finding the perfect town, he'll build one. And unlike vanity projects in other states, it worked. The community is thriving, the property values are strong, and the town has attracted a base of executives, professionals, and entrepreneurs who appreciate its intentional design. Finally, let's talk about the broader Cincinnati metro, because the wealth outside Indian Hill spreads into several smaller enclaves. Terrace Park, a village along the Little Miami River, has a mean income of over $265,000 and a population of about 2,350. Almost every home is owner-occupied, and over a third of residents are families with children. It's compact, walkable, and feels like a New England village dropped into southern Ohio. Concord Hills in Hamilton County has only 644 residents and a mean income of over $233,000. Montgomery, just north of Cincinnati, blends a walkable downtown with high-end homes ranging from classic 1960s estates to newly constructed luxury properties. Joe Burrow, the Bengals quarterback, reportedly chose the Anderson Township area for its riverfront estates overlooking the Ohio River. So what's the pattern? Ohio's wealth doesn't concentrate in its biggest city or its most obvious neighborhoods. It hides in villages that were incorporated specifically to prevent commercial development. It clusters along rivers and valleys east of Cleveland, in communities that look more like the English countryside than the Midwest. It settles in planned suburbs built by billionaires who chose to stay in Ohio rather than flee to the coasts. And it fills tiny communities of 700 people where the mean income exceeds $350,000 and the homes are invisible behind century-old hardwood forests. Ohio has the kind of wealth that doesn't advertise. The fortunes were built in manufacturing, retail, banking, and professional sports, industries that don't produce celebrity entrepreneurs. The communities that house those fortunes share one trait above all else. They were designed, from the very beginning, to make sure that nobody passing through would ever notice.